Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Y'all, it is a fabulous time to be a gardener in North Carolina. Here in the Southeast, it is absolutely just perfect times to be adding plants to your garden. Whether you're looking to do some trees, some shrubs, annuals, perennials, you name it, we have got it here for you at Creekside Nursery. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a fun little garden tour because there are some new plants at the garden center that you don't know about yet. They came in right after I did last week's nursery tour. So new plant arrivals here at the garden center that you are going to want to take advantage of. Of course, we are open Wednesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 3. So if you are in the area, whether you are local or you are traveling, we would love to have you stop by. Just this past weekend, we had people from Oregon, Maryland, Virginia, South Carolina, like literally everywhere coming to see us. So it's not just if you live 5 minutes away, you can live 5 states away and still come and see us and plant shop. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. If you've been following us on some of our house gardening projects, you know that last summer, the end of the summer, I planted Proven Winner's new Taste of Heaven thornless blackberry, and she has just exploded and is loaded with fruit. We have those here at the garden center as well. So these are gorgeous 3-gallon shrubs. And y'all, they too have berries on them, starting to take a little color right here. The Taste of Heaven is a thornless blackberry. It will produce fruit on its 2nd year's growth. So you can see it is loaded. It has got fruit on it, and we've got more flowers popping up. So these are great. I've yet to taste one. I'm holding on to what Proven Winner says, where it is like the absolute best blackberry. So we shall see. So these are here, super easy. You will just kind of need to give them a little bit of a trellis, and then there you go. New hydrangea for us here at the garden center, right, is the Gatsby Moon oak leaf hydrangea. Gatsby Moon, in fact, we had a customer come this weekend, and that is specifically what he was looking for a Mother's Day present. Of course, Gatsby Moon is that great classic oak leaf hydrangea with those nice big flowers. Look how tight. I mean, that is a tight flower right there. Now, let's look at the specs. Flip the page. Here we go. This is going to be that sun to park shade. It'll help if you can give it a little break in the afternoon. Hardy in zones 5 to 9. She's 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. So that's actually pretty good for an oak leaf, not too giant. Of course, you get those beautiful creamy white flowers, and in the fall, they give you gorgeous burgundy foliage. Nice, look at that, beautiful. So Gatsby Moon, we have that. We also have one of my all-time favorite camellias. This is from Southern Living Plant Collection. This is the October Magic Ruby. So as you can see, she lives up to her name. And y'all, this is one of those Sasanqua camellias, meaning that it blooms in the fall, full sun. You can absolutely give this plant full sun. I have them in the privacy berm. I have 3 of them. They are basically sun up. They're in the sun until probably 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And they are fabulous. They're growing like crazy. So if you want to plant camellias, it's a great time to do it. And these they literally can take all day sun, and you're going to get those big, beautiful double ruby red flowers on those. We have, let's see, let me go, this way. Okay, next to Taste of Heaven, we have Sweet Talker Viburnum. If you are looking for a fast growing evergreen shrub, then Sweet Talker is going to be for you. Sweet Talker is so fun. I have 2 of these in the privacy berm as well. They will get nice, good size on them. Let me flip this around so Jerry can show you the tag. But Sweet Talker gets its name because it blooms in late winter with these little tiny pink flowers that smell delicious. And Sweet Talker is going to get some size on her. She's going to get 8 to 10 feet tall, 3 to 5 feet wide, hardy in zones 7 and 8. So she's a little limited, but she does really well here in North Carolina in the Southeast. Sun to part shade. So I would say a minimum of those 5 hours. And this is that beautiful green foliage for right now in the summer. In that winterish fall, they have more of like a really rich burgundy, deep purple leaf color to them. They prefer moist, well-drained soil, but this is going to be a great fast growing viburnum that blooms and gives you fragrance, especially it's like we hear it all the time. I love my neighbors, but. So this is a great but solution right here. So the Sweet Talker viburnum, we have also, y'all, this is definitely our #1 shrub that sells online. Like, we cannot keep this thing in stock. And if you are an online customer, you probably know that. We have El Ninos, and we have 3-gallon size El Ninos. Of course, online, they are quart size, but we have gotten restocked with the El Nino. This is a Catalpa. This is a desert orchid. Loves the sun, absolutely thrives in like those really bad, yucky kind of soil conditions. Full sun, can handle the heat and humidity really well. Again, is a very fast grower. I want to say it's in that 12 to 15 foot size range. This says 5 to 8. Here in the South, she gets bigger than that. Mine is already on the absolute 8-foot side, and it's only, what, 2 years old. So give it its room, folks. This is going to be full sun. Of course, does those classic, really pretty pink flowers, nice and big. It's already putting on buds. And then it has a fragrance to it also. So we have the 3 gallons of the El Nino Catalpas. And then, let's see, I'm trying to find new things that came for us. Roses of Sharon, or Rose of Sharon's. Here we go. This is the Parpaloo Pink Ink. I love Parpaloo Pink Ink because you've got that beautiful creamy white with that hot pink center. Rose of Sharon's, of course, love the sun. They are fast growers, very upright. The Parpaloo Pink Ink is going to be 5 to 8 feet tall, 4 feet wide, blooms on new growth. You can easily prune it, you can shape it, you can pair this with any of like your viburnums, your El Ninos to give you that beautiful screen. They are deciduous, but gorgeous. When they start blooming, they do not stop until the fall. So we've got those as well. Can we talk about, just for a second, they're not new to the garden center, but the double plate Doozy spireas. Of course, we love these because we have these in our backyard, and y'all, mine are massive. They're every bit of 3.5 feet tall and wide. Beautiful raspberry flowers. These are sterile, so you don't have to worry about having a gazillion little doozies in your garden. And because they're sterile, they just continually are going to rebloom. I love double play Doozy. Y'all, we got 4 inches of rain yesterday. Actually, over 4 inches of rain yesterday. Are they floppy? No, they're not. Are they splayed open? Absolutely not. They are still absolutely nice and tight and upright. They are covered in water, like they are waterlogged, but they are nice and firm. Again, beautiful, beautiful plant, beautiful color with those raspberry flowers. Your pollinators love these guys. They're going to be hardy in zones 3 to 8. Even though we are in 8A, mine are in full hot all day sun and are stunning. So even though we're on that, that end where we're getting a little too warm, they do great. Oh yes, so we have the Roman candle podocarpus from Southern Living. This is a relatively new shrub from our friends at Southern Living. This is going to be very upright, 10 to 15 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide. Beautiful evergreen, has that just gorgeous color to it. You've got the new foliage, has that really kind of creamy color to it. And then of course, as it ages, it turns a little bit darker. So a podocarpus is a yew. So this is a very upright yew, gorgeous. We have 2 of these along the driveway at our house, just lovely. So there you go on those. We've got the red tip camellias from, Proven Winners. So this is, they call it red tip because, can you see why? All that new growth has a lovely kind of a burgundy color to it. These will bloom in the fall. So these are fall bloomers, nice and upright. I don't know if Jerry can show you our little friend that's on the Carissa hollies right here. We have little friends everywhere. So this is a sign of a very healthy garden. So if you have little anoles and little lizards and little skinks and frogs, those are your gardening friends, right? So that is, He's like giving Jerry the side eye. So those are signs that you have a very healthy garden. So welcome those little friends. Yeah, they may kind of startle you at first, and there's a spider web on my face. They may startle you at first, but they're good. We love these little sweet little critters in our garden, so these are definitely our garden friends. We also have the Rock Steady Vitex. These are new, those chase trees. Again, 3-gallon, beautiful, fast growing. Think of it, if you're not familiar with a Vitex or a chase tree, think of a really large butterfly bush. So Rock Steady is going to have really nice light lavender flowers that it's going to bloom 3 to 4 weeks longer than your traditional Vitex. Get a nice kind of upright canopy on it, small tree. Pollinators are flocking to this plant. Also is a nice fast growing shrub as well, and I see some little buds getting ready to form, so that is really fun. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about hydrangeas. One of my all-time favorites, especially if you're in this area, then Invincibel Ruby is going to be a great one for you. And y'all, look at this. These babies are covered in buds because they bloom on new growth. They are color specific. Invincibel Ruby, guess what color they are? That's right, a nice, really pretty ruby red color. Does not matter what your soil's pH is, they will be that color. The Invincibels for us, if you live in a cooler zone, a cooler climate, especially if your nights really cool off, us in the summertime, our nights do not cool off. So if you live in those cooler zones, you can absolutely have this in full all day sun. It'll do great. I personally, from trial and error, have learned that it does great in the full sun up until maybe like 1-ish, 2-ish, but if you can put it in the shade in the hot afternoon, especially if there's not irrigation, that is where they thrive. I did have these in full sun when I first planted them around where the Emperor One bed is. They fried. They could not handle it. Move them down to the creek bank. They get lots of great half-day sun, but they're in the shade for the afternoon. They are gorgeous and thriving and doing magnificent, not on irrigation, hands off. I prune them once a year. That's literally all I do, and they are gorgeous. So give them a little break in the afternoon and you will love them. So we've got those. Am I missing anything else down here, Jerry? Oh, we've got the, oh, let's see, back up just a second. So the Invincibel Ruby is going to have, the blooms on it is going to be a little bit smaller, okay? So it is an arborescence, just like Invincibel Blush. So if you want a bigger flower, you can just see already from the buds. It's a little bit behind as far as Ruby, but this is Invincibel Blush. That's going to have not as quite a deep red color that Ruby does. It really does have a blush pink to it. So this is going to be a much bigger bloom than your Ruby. You could absolutely put these together, like put Invincibel Blush in the back, put Rubies in the front. It would be gorgeous. And these are going to be 4 to 5 feet tall and wide, where Ruby is a little bit smaller in that like 3 by 3. So you could pair these together, different sizes, different shades of that blush mauve ruby color. Would be stunning. So we've got the Invincibel Rubies for you as well. All right, now let's head on up here because we do have new plants that we haven't talked about yet and that I want to share with you. So we got some elephant ears in, and we also got some ferns in, and the perennials are going nuts. Those of you that have come to the nursery and you've been to the nursery, you might notice that we have transitioned this from a parking area to a perennial lot because, I mean, my gosh, high visibility. We have got so many gorgeous perennials ready for you that we needed to put them somewhere. So here you go. We have got the new salvia from Proven Winners this year. This is the Living Large Big Sky. It gets its name because the plant is very big and vigorous. Your flowers on it are nice and big. I've got little pollinators all over the place. It is time to plant Manarda. My gosh, y'all. We have got, if you just kind of glance over here, we have got beautiful Manarda. This is that upscale lavender taffeta, basically about that 2 feet tall, which is nice and manageable. Veronicas, look at the Veronicas. Oh my gosh. So this is the Wizard of Oz. Love the Wizard of Oz, again, because it's not gonna be too big, about 16 inches tall, and I've got little tiny pollinators all over the place. It's really nice if you, especially if you had perennial salvias, because the Veronicas come in after your salvias bloom. And there is difference in the bloom time even within the Veronicas. So you've got the Wizard of Oz, which is a nice deep purple. She's in full bloom now. And then over here we have the Ever After, which is a nice light lavender that's just starting to crack some color. So when we plant our perennials, we think about that succession planting, because typically your perennials are only going to bloom for a relatively short amount of time. Maybe it's 4 weeks, right? Well, 4 weeks out of the whole growing season is relatively short. So that's why we like pairing all these different plants together, so that throughout the entire growing season, your garden's forever changing. In the early spring, it's that beautiful phlox. And then we move into the salvias, your perennial geraniums with the boom chocolata, your nepidas are blooming, your dianthus. And as the season changes, so do your blooms. So right now, also what's blooming is the opening act phlox. This is a great one. It is that great transition from your creeping phlox, which blooms first, to the opening act, whether you like that pinkadot, which is that nice light, kind of that pale pink with that pink center, or you like the more bold pink of the ultra pink, then you've got that as well. So we're transitioning, always moving. One thing that has been a huge, great, beautiful plant in the cottage garden is the new penstemons. So we have pink pearls here, and then there was rose rhinestones. So for me, rose rhinestones is in full bloom right now, which is a really kind of that ultra pink color. But before that was the pink pearls, which there is a difference in the color. A little bit of a softer pink. Beautiful, y'all. These are stunning plants. Love them. I mean, we're gonna have Jerry back up just a little bit, because we've also got the butterfly bushes. This is the Cascade series from Walter's Gardens, and they're in 1 gallons. They would love for you to come take them home and get them straight in the ground. So we have Violet Cascade, which is covered in buds, as you can see. So this is going to be about 4.5 feet tall by 5 feet wide. And then we have the Pink Cascade 2 in here as well, which is one of my favorites. And then we also have this is the one that I have in the back of the cottage garden. This is the Cherry Royale. So a nice little petite one, petite for a butterfly bush, gorgeous. So butterfly bushes, the elephant ears, let's come over here. So we have the, this is Pharaoh's mask. So you can see where it gets its name, because it has those really black, deep, heavy veining in it. Gorgeous, will get nice and big. Does great in really large containers or the landscape. We've got the Manarda, the upscale red velvet. She is getting ready to put on quite the show. She's going to be around that 3 foot mark, a little bit shorter. So think of, if you're familiar with Jacob's Cline, but Jacob's Cline can get really tall, and like after the rain we got yesterday, I'm sure it would probably be laying on the ground. The upscale red velvet is going to be a little bit shorter, tighter, but again, those classic red flowers that your pollinators and your hummingbirds go absolutely crazy over. So Manardas galore. We also have new that we haven't talked about that we got in. Of course, your phenomenal lavender. She's blooming, y'all. She is just starting to bloom. This is my favorite choice for our southern gardens. Phenomenal, does really, really well. We've got that. The new one I was going to talk about is this cute little Saladago. Right, we love Saladago. It is a native perennial. You'll see that a lot around here. But this one is called Sparkplug. And clearly Sparkplug is going to be shorter, tighter, compact habit on it, but still those classic bright yellow flowers. Fantastic for all those little native pollinators out there. This is a beautiful one. And then we've got some eucomis. So this is like a pineapple lily. This is the Safari Adventure. Really nice, deep burgundy foliage on it, and of course does that pineapple look flower on it. So we've got those as well. Echinaceas, they're here. Of course, we were growing these. They are ready. You can absolutely come. We've got whites, we've got yellows, we've got reds, we've got oranges. I mean, you name it, the colors, they are here. As far as the ferns go, we have got, these are all the Kimberly Queens out here in the full sun, because Kimberly Queens can take that full sun. Just have to give them a little acclimated. Well, we've acclimated them for you, so they are ready to go. And these are in, is that a 2 gallon? 3 gallon? Yeah, I mean, they're good size. So you absolutely can take this if you want to. I would definitely encourage you to move it up in a container, let that baby grow. So the Kimberly Queens are here. And then inside we have the, I think they're inside, the Boston ferns. So you've got the Boston hanging ferns as well. And these are hangers. Of course, your Boston ferns prefer more of those shadier conditions, more of kind of a cascading habit on those. Caladiums, like y'all, the annuals are prolific. They are here. They are ready to be bought. They are ready to be put in the ground. We only have a few more of the tropical hibiscus, so these are ready to go. This is the Rico Suave, and these are tropicals, so they're not going to be perennials. You're going to have them for this hot growing season. They're going to get to be about that 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. Beautiful. Love the heat and humidity, as well as your caladiums. If you're not growing caladiums and you live in the southeast, you are missing out on the easiest plant on the planet for the south with these caladiums. Yes, they can do full sun. Yes, they can do shade. The vast majority of them can do either or. There are a few in here that are going to be shade only, like the Vava Violet. She won't shade, but most of these in here want those sunnier conditions and can go back and forth on the sun conditions. So there you go. But just look, like, take a look around at all of these gorgeous, whether it's the hibiscus, the coffee cups elephant ear, you've got scavolas, you've petunias and coleus, dahlias with that mystic illusion, the vermillionaire, cleome, just tons of coleus in here. We've got the Suncredible sunflowers that are on the other side, pentas, salvias. Y'all, it was so fun on Saturday. I was walking a customer, she was looking for a salvia, and we came around the corner and I was like, stop, because there was a hummingbird in the greenhouse feeding on the Rockin' Fuchsia salvia. So we just stopped for a minute, let her do her thing, let her have her feeding, off she went, and then we continued on. If you have a shade garden, Cece has put these out in a beautiful display. These plants absolutely can be planted together. You have got stunning, more smooth hydrangeas. This is the Invincibel Sublime. So where it was ruby, this is Sublime, a very nice lime color. Did not think I was gonna like it. I love this plant. Look, y'all, look at this hydrangea. If you do not come and buy this hydrangea and put it in your garden, shame on you. That's all I've got to say. Y'all, these things are amazing. It is covered in buds. It will love being in your garden. Again, give it morning sun, give it filtered sun. Just give it a break from the hot, hot afternoon sun, and it is going to reward you with tons of flowers. Look at all those buds. It is insane. If you do not come buy these plants, the only reason you wouldn't buy this plant is if you only had a full, hot, blazing sun garden. That's the only excuse you have. Other than that, you need to get out here and get these babies because they are stunning. We have the Let's Dance Skyview. Of course, I planted these in my backyard. Gorgeous, stunning, more petite. This is that reblooming Macrophylla hydrangea. It's going to be basically 3 feet tall, 4 feet wide. Again, I would give it filtered sun, a little bit of a break in the hot afternoon. So those are available. The Fairy Trail Brides. It has been a grand year for the Fairy Trail Brides because they have done fantastic. Year 3 on mine, and she's finally blooming. Like, this is what mine looks like in the garden, and I've heard from other gardeners as well that theirs is doing the same thing. So yay for that. It's that cascading hydrangea. People were asking, did we have the Fresco baskets? Yes, so this is the new Fairy Trail Fresco. So you have Fairy Trail Bride, which is a white, This is Fresco with those gorgeous colors to it. So we have them in baskets. We still have those. Let's Dance Reba. This is a great, very sun-tolerant macrophylla hydrangea. Again, reblooms on new and old. Completely different color. Intensity than your Skyview. I have these in full sun up at the chicken coop. They're doing well. They're not quite as advanced as these as far as the color, but they are loaded in blooms. And yeah, it is going to be a fun season to see them grow. There's so much to talk about. Just tons. The Veronicas. Here's the pink potion. So talking about Veronicas, we had the blues. Well, there you have the pinks available there. Again, kind of that same thing like with the caladiums. If you're in this region, I'm sure, I mean, these do great anywhere. I just can speak specifically for the South because sometimes we struggle. Sun patience. Japanese beetles don't like them. They're not divas. You don't have to do tons of fertilizer. They get nice and big. And yes, they can take the full sun and you've got tons of pops of color. Like I'm literally standing here and I can see my sun patients on the very far end of the signature garden and I see them. They are beautiful. We did that kind of that lilac color at the very end. It just pops. You see it. Y'all, easiest plants on the planet that just thrive with lots of sun. I did on Saturday, I'm keeping it simple, sweetie, in our containers. To give you an idea, we have, these were the North Pole Arborites. We planted them in the fall. I took out the pansies, the violas, the ivy. I took all that out, replaced it with some diamond snow and some of the Dichondra silver falls. So this is going to fill in. You're going to have this coming over. Very simple, very elegant. It's going to be gorgeous. Another very simple pairing container idea that I did. Some may call this cheating. I just say you're working smarter, not harder. We have this, it looks like a bird bath, but it really is meant to be a planter. Elevated, we've had this thing here for years. I grabbed one of the hanging baskets that we have. It's a recipe from Proven Winners. It is a shade-loving hanging basket. I emptied this out with all the soil, put new soil back in, took it out of its hanging basket pot and planted it in there. There you go. You don't have to work harder, just work smarter. Chocolate drop coleus, the sweet Caroline, lime green, sweet potato vine coming over, and then the Rocapucos. There you go. Yes, Jerry's pointing me to the tier. Yes, to the green stalk. Want to give you an update on this. Y'all, when I say it, we've done nothing to this. We've done nothing other than throw some water in here, but we've gotten so much rain, we really have not had to water it a lot. Wanted to give you that update on how everybody is doing. We only had one super bell that went a little wonky on us. Again, 4 inches of rain yesterday, and this is how it looks. Everything, I mean, yeah, it is loaded with water, but everything is doing really, really well. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little skeptical about this thing at the beginning, right? I was like, okay, it's, you know, it's cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving this one. I'm loving the one that we have at the house where I planted herbs in it. It's lovely and it's so stinking easy to take care of, and everybody is very interested in this whole planting, pairing, and how this works. Love it. Yeah. Very, very easy. Yes. So this is the 7-tier. So they have a 7-tier, we have the 5-tier at the house, and just yesterday launched the 3-tier. It is available on gardeningwithcreekside.com, so you can head over there. So if you need the 3-tier, that is now available as well. I do want to show you this one container that I put together also on Saturday. This was kind of fun. I really was just having fun planting this. We'll see how everything turns out. It is already filled in quite nicely, even just in a couple of days here. So this area gets mostly shade, but it does get hot afternoon sun. And so I jam-packed this in here because I wanted to use these orange begonias. This is those Selenia chocolate orange begonias, and I wanted to use these. So what I did is, you can see I put my little tags here so everybody can see what we have. We have the Sedona Sunset Coleus. Then we have Pegasus Begonia here in the middle. We've got Diamond Snow to give a pop of white. And then on the end, we have that Swedish Ivy. It is called Variegated Swedish Ivy. This is going to get full It is going to be monstrous, and it's going to take me into the fall perfectly. It is going to be gorgeous. Love that. Again, if you leave this hydrangea here and don't buy this, shame on you. This thing is gorgeous. I dare say, yes, this is the Let's Dance Rhythmic Blue. You can see that she is already blooming and she is covered in buds. These Let's Dances are going to be those reblooming Macrophylla hydrangeas. She is going to be 3 to 4 tall and wide. So a nice size, right? That good classic, what we think of as a hydrangea. Beautiful, nice, rich blue flowers on it. So there you go. I mean, it is looking lush out here for sure. This area definitely has enjoyed those 4 inches of rain that we got yesterday. I mean, it's just, I mean, take a look around. Let Jerry pan around, show you everything. The hydrangeas down here. We have got the acanthus. This is not acanthus, excuse me. This is the fatsia. This is the spider's web. So we were growing these. We've got those available here. We've got spot on pulmonaria. We have got, of course, one of my absolute favorites, the Feather Falls Carex. She is here. The Aurelia Sun Kings, these are here. If you're familiar with our videos, you know I have 2 of these that get ginormous. They are already about this tall. I have 2 of them and they're just massive, lovely. So whether you need shade stuff, ferns for your shade garden, that's one thing I love about shade gardens is that you can have such a diversity even if it's within the same plant family. So if ferns do really well, well guess what? These are all ferns, these are all different cultivars, different types of ferns, and they are just loving life and doing great, and you can put them together and have color and texture and interest throughout your garden. I mean, it's just stunning. So we are here Wednesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 3. If you have not already signed up for our email, I would highly encourage you to do that. I will put a link in there for you because this is for our online store primarily. And we have specials online coming. One is going on today, so you need to check that out. And the only way you're going to know about that is if you're on that email list. We're not going to bombard you. We're not going to spam you. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're not going to sell your information. But if you love a good plant deal, then that's where you need to go to see what those specials are. And going through the summer, we're going to have some amazing ones. So check that out. If you have found this fun, informative, and inspirational, we would love it if you would like and subscribe to the channel so that way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week. Y'all have an amazing day. We hope to see you soon. See you next time. Bye, friends.